Hey everyone, welcome back to Mr.EvilWakes, the place where your darkest fears come alive. Before we dive into today's chilling story, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, smash the like, and share if you love spine-tingling tales. Now, get ready, because this is a story you don't want to listen to alone. I've always preferred hiking alone. It's not that I dislike people, I just crave the silence. Out there, surrounded by trees and the wind, there's no pressure to talk, no deadlines, no distractions. Just nature, and me. So when I stumbled across a barely mentioned trail called Dead Pine, it felt like the perfect weekend escape. There was no official website, no recent reviews. Just a few blurry photos and some outdated directions from an old hiking forum. It sounded untouched, wild and mysterious. The drive took me deep into the wilderness. I passed a tiny gas station where the signs were hand-painted, and a general store that looked like it hadn't changed since the 60s. By the time I reached the trailhead, it was already past 3 p.m. I planned a quick loop, maybe 2 hours tops, to be back before sundown. As I stepped out of my car and adjusted my pack, I heard footsteps on the gravel. Turning, I saw a park ranger approaching, or at least, someone wearing the uniform of one. But something felt off. He looked gaunt, pale, like he hadn't slept in days. His eyes twitched beneath one eyelid, and his uniform looked faded and old, like it had belonged to someone decades ago. His name tag was scratched so badly I couldn't read it. "You planning to hike this trail?" he asked, voice flat and low. "Yeah," I replied. "Just a quick one before sundown." He didn't nod or smile. Just stared. "You need to leave before dark," he said. "Do not be on the trail after sundown." I blinked, confused. Okay. I wasn't planning to stay that long. "No," he said again, stepping closer. "I'm not warning you about animals or getting lost. There's something in the trees. It comes after dark." I frowned. "What kind of something?" He opened his mouth as if to speak, but nothing came out. Then he turned and walked away, back into the woods, disappearing between the trees. I stood there, uneasy. But I shook it off. I've heard local legends and creepy ranger stories before. Probably just a weird guy trying to spook people, so I locked my car, tightened my boots, and stepped into the forest. The Dead Pine Trail was strange. The trees were unusually tall and thin, like they'd grown too fast. The air was still, no wind, no birds. Even bugs seemed to avoid the place. There was a low hum in the distance, like power lines buzzing. But there were no power lines. About 30 minutes in, the trail narrowed. Roots twisted underfoot, and thick moss blanketed everything. That hum grew louder, pulsing in my ears. Then I heard it, whispering. At first, I thought it was the wind in the branches. But there was no wind. And the sounds weren't random. They were patterned, like someone murmuring in another room. I stopped, looking around. Nothing. Then I saw it, just off the trail, a circle of 7 stones, cracked and ancient, arranged in a perfect ring. Strange symbols were etched into them, not letters, but markings that felt wrong. The closer I got, the louder the whispering became. I could feel it under my skin, like something was watching me. Listening, I backed away quickly and checked my watch. It was 6:12 p.m. The sunlight was already fading, the shadows stretching long and thin. I decided to head back, but the forest didn't look the same. The trail twisted in unfamiliar ways. Landmarks I'd passed, a broken log, a forked tree, were gone. The path curved tighter, darker. I should have reached the car by now. But every step seemed to take me deeper instead of out. I checked my phone, no bars. GPS just spun, unsure of where I was. Then I heard it, snap, a branch breaking behind me. I froze, another step. Snap. Crunch, something was walking, pacing me. Hello. I called, no answer, just the buzzing. Louder now, and something else, a lullaby. Slow and soft, like someone humming to a child, but it wasn't ahead or behind me. It was coming from the trees. From inside them, I spun and saw movement between two pines, something tall. Unnaturally thin. Motionless, it didn't chase me. Just stood there, watching. Its skin looked like bark, but it shimmered slightly, as if trying to look human, and failing. Then it opened its mouth, and the humming got louder. I ran, branches whipped my face. Roots caught my boots. I stumbled, slid, clawed my way down a slope. Ignoring the pain in my legs and arms, I was lost. Completely, but I didn't stop. Every time I slowed down, the humming returned. Always close. Always following. At one point, I crashed through a thicket and came face to face with the stone circle again. The same one. I'd been running in circles. I screamed in frustration. Then something behind the stones moved. A face, not quite human. Smooth. Empty. With a black mouth that opened wider than it should have. From inside, it hummed that same melody. The forest joined in, every tree, every branch began to hum. I ran again. I don't know how long. My legs were numb. My vision blurred. Then, somehow, the trail opened. Gravel. My car, I stumbled toward it, gasping. The ranger station stood nearby, only now it looked abandoned. The windows boarded. The walls rotting. As if it had been deserted for decades, I banged on the door, nothing. Inside, only dust and cobwebs. I turned to run to my car, and stopped cold. The trees were moving, not swaying, moving, shifting. Leaning toward me, the bark split on one, revealing pale, wet flesh beneath. A vertical mouth. It opened, and the song poured out. Every tree began to open. They weren't trees anymore. They were watching, singing, calling. I dove into my car, shaking, keys slipping from my hands. When the engine finally roared to life, I reversed so fast I nearly hit a stump. In the rearview mirror, the ranger stood on the trail, waving, but his face was wrong. It was too smooth, and he was humming too. It's been days since I got back. I haven't slept. I hear the humming in my walls. Sometimes, in the early morning, I swear I see pine needles on my floor. I live in the city. There are no pines nearby. Except now. There is one, right outside my apartment window, and at night, it hums. Thanks for listening to that chilling tale here on Mr.EvilWakes. If you want more stories that will keep you up at night, make sure to subscribe, hit the like button, and ring the bell to never miss a scare. Until next time, stay safe, and stay spooky.